Welcome to our journey through Ford's incredible history of innovation and impact on the automotive world. You know, when you think about American car companies, you've got to hand it to Ford. They've been around since the dawn of the automobile, and they've always been at the forefront of innovation, from the Model T, which put America on wheels, to the Mustang, which set our hearts racing. Ford has a knack for building cars that people love, but it's not just about the cars themselves. It's about the spirit of ingenuity that drives them. Over the next few minutes, we're going to take a ride through Ford's greatest hits, exploring the cars, the technology, and the people that shaped over a century of automotive history. So buckle up, it's going to be a fun ride. Did you know that Ford's first car was the 1903 Model A? It wasn't much to look at compared to today's cars. It was a far cry from the Mustangs, an F-150 ES we know today, but it was a start. This little two-cylinder runabout marked the beginning of Henry Ford's journey in revolutionizing the automobile industry. Back then, cars were just playthings for the rich. Henry Ford had a bigger vision. He wanted to build a car for everyone, and that's where the Model A comes in. It was simple, reliable, and most importantly, affordable. Now, I love a good classic car as much as the next guy, but the Model A wasn't just about looks. It was about changing the game. It was a sign of things to come, a hint at the revolution that Henry Ford was about to unleash on the world. And believe me, that revolution would change everything. Now let's talk about a real game changer, the assembly line. Henry Ford didn't invent it, but he perfected it. In 1913, he introduced the moving assembly line to his factory in Highland Park, Michigan. This wasn't just some tweak to the manufacturing process, it was a seismic shift. Before the assembly line, it took a team of skilled workers 12 hours to build a single Model T. Can you imagine that? But with the moving assembly line, that time was slashed to just 90 minutes. Cars were rolling off the line faster and cheaper than ever before, and that's the key, folks, affordability. The assembly line didn't just change how cars were made, it changed who could buy them. Suddenly, cars weren't just for the wealthy, they were within reach of the average American, and that, my friends, is the legacy of Henry Ford's assembly line. It democratized the automobile, making it a part of everyday life for millions of people. Let's fast forward a few decades to 1964, the year Ford unleashed a legend, the Mustang. This wasn't just another car, it was a cultural phenomenon. The Mustang was sleek, it was sporty, and it was attainable. It created a whole new category of car, the pony car. Now, I've driven my fair share of Mustangs over the years, and let me tell you, there's something special. There's just something about that combination of power, style, and affordability that gets under your skin. It's no wonder the Mustang became an instant icon. But the Mustang wasn't just about looks. Under the hood, you could get some serious muscle. From the small block V8s to the fire-breathing Cobras, the Mustang delivered performance that matched its aggressive styling. And that's why the Mustang is still going strong today, over 50 years later. It's a testament to Ford's ability to build cars that capture the hearts and imaginations of generations. Chapter 4, Ford's Aviation Contribution. Now, you might think of Ford as a car company, and you'd be right, but did you know they also played a pivotal role in the early days of aviation? In the 1920s and 30s, Ford built the Ford Trimotor, a rugged and reliable aircraft that helped usher in the era of commercial air travel. This wasn't some flimsy experimental plane, it was a workhorse. The Trimotor was an all-metal, three-engine transport aircraft that could carry passengers and cargo over long distances. It was a game-changer for aviation. Back then, flying was still a risky proposition, but the Ford Trimotor, with its robust construction and multiple engines, helped make air travel safer and more reliable. It opened up new possibilities for commerce, communication, and even leisure travel. So the next time you board a plane, remember Henry Ford and his contribution to the skies. Chapter 5. The GT40's racing glory. Now let's talk racing. In the 1960s, the world of motorsport was dominated by one name, Ferrari. But Henry Ford II, grandson of the founder, had other plans. He wanted to prove that Ford could build a car capable of beating the best in the world. And so the Ford GT40 was born. This wasn't just about building a fast car, it was about national pride. The GT40 was a purpose-built racing machine designed to take on Ferrari at the most grueling race of them all, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And boy did it deliver. In 1966, the GT40 achieved a historic victory at Le Mans, ending Ferrari's 6-year winning streak. But Ford wasn't done yet. They went on to win the next 3 Le Mans races in a row, cementing their dominance in motorsport history. The GT40's victories weren't just about crossing the finish line first. They were a testament to American engineering and determination. Chapter 6. First mass-produced hybrid. As the 20th century came to a close, the auto industry faced a new challenge: fuel efficiency. And once again, Ford stepped up to the plate. In 2004, they introduced the Escape Hybrid, the first mass-produced hybrid SUV. Now, this was a big deal. SUVs were known for their gas-guzzling ways, but the Escape Hybrid changed the game. It combined a fuel-efficient gasoline engine with an electric motor, delivering impressive fuel economy without sacrificing the versatility of an SUV. It was a win-win for drivers and the environment. The Escape Hybrid paved the way for a new generation of hybrid and electric vehicles, proving that you could have your cake and eat it too. You could have the space and capability of an SUV without the guilt trip at the gas pump. Now let's talk tech. In the early 2000s, car interiors were pretty basic, but Ford saw an opportunity to innovate. They teamed up with Microsoft to create the Sync Infotainment system, first introduced in 2007. This wasn't just some fancy radio, it was a revolution in in-car connectivity. Sync allowed drivers to control their music, phone calls, and even navigation using voice commands. It was like having a personal assistant in your car. Before Sync, using your phone while driving was a recipe for disaster. But with Sync, you could keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. It was a major step forward in safety and convenience. And Sync was just the beginning. Ford has continued to innovate in the realm of in-car technology with features like Ford Pass and over-the-air updates, making their vehicles more connected and user-friendly than ever before. Chapter 8. Aluminum F-150. Now let's talk trucks. The Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America for decades. But in 2015, Ford did something radical. They introduced an all-aluminum F-150. Now I know what you're thinking. Aluminum in a truck? But trust me, this was a game changer. Aluminum is lighter than steel, which means the new F-150 was significantly lighter than its predecessor. That meant better fuel economy, improved performance, and increased payload capacity. It was a win-win-win situation. The aluminum F-150 was a bold move, but it paid off. It proved that Ford wasn't afraid to take risks and innovate, even with their most iconic vehicles. Chapter 9. EcoBoost Engines. Now, let's talk about what's under the hood. In 2009, Ford introduced a new engine technology that would change the game: EcoBoost. Now, EcoBoost isn't just a fancy marketing term, it's a real technological breakthrough. These engines use turbocharging and direct injection to squeeze more power out of smaller displacement engines. That means you get V8 power with the fuel efficiency of a smaller engine. It was a win-win for drivers who wanted both performance and fuel economy. EcoBoost engines have been a huge success for Ford, finding their way into a wide range of vehicles from small cars to pickup trucks. They're a testament to Ford's commitment to developing innovative technologies that benefit both drivers and the environment. Chapter 10. Model T's global influence. We can't talk about Ford's legacy without mentioning the car that started it all, the Model T. Introduced in 1908, the Model T was Henry Ford's vision of a car for the masses. It was simple, it was reliable, and most importantly, it was affordable. The Model T wasn't just a car, it was a cultural phenomenon. It put America on wheels, transforming the way people lived, worked, and traveled. But the Model T's influence wasn't limited to America. It was a global phenomenon with millions of Model Ts sold around the world. It helped to popularize the automobile, making car ownership a reality for people in every corner of the globe. The Model T's legacy is immense. It's a testament to the power of innovation and the enduring appeal of a simple, well-built machine. Outro: Ford's enduring legacy. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Ford's remarkable history. From the Model A to the EcoBoost, Ford has consistently pushed the boundaries of automotive innovation. They've built cars that are affordable, cars that are exciting, and cars that have changed the world. And they've done it all with a uniquely American spirit of ingenuity and determination. So the next time you see a Ford on the road, take a moment to appreciate the legacy behind the blue oval. It's a legacy of innovation, performance, and a commitment to building cars that people love. Stay tuned for more fascinating stories from the world of automobiles.